right, so I'll leave the offseason out of this one because we're not there yet. But let's do a little 1 to 10 scale. 1 to 10 on your confidence meter with the Rangers. What's your 1 to 10 confidence that Bruce Bochy has not forgotten how to manage a bullpen?
That he hasn't forgotten?
8 or 9, meaning I have that much confidence in Bochy. This is not Bruce Bochy screwing things up. This is a bunch of wild cards. This is throwing dart, putting on a blindfold and throwing darts, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the talent is awful. Like I don't. There's nothing. Bochy has tried so many different combinations and pushing so many different buttons, and it hasn't worked out because your bullpen's just been bad. So I still have, I don't know, probably an 8.
Probably 8. Yeah, it's high. It's high. I think a lot of the problem is obviously the talent. I mean, he puts out Chapman. What's he going to do if Chapman gives him a home run? You know, I think that we give the managers in baseball way too much.
Hey, Spores has gotten a ton of work. Will Smith was in the night. Now Chapman's in the night. Then you have Stratton. And Anderson. I mean, they've tried everyone. They've tried everything, in my opinion.
All right, so when you're watching the game, you got a guy in there, any pitcher, doesn't matter who it is, any pitcher, confidence number that they will get the final 3 outs of a game. Can it be higher than 5?
Give me the exact scenario again.
Just any pitcher. Final. It doesn't matter who you're because we don't have a closer.
But you're not giving me a score of the game. Like how close?
1-run game.
1-run game. A 2. That they're gonna get out. That they're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Get out of there. 2.
Well, I mean, it could be bases loaded, 2 outs, and they get out of it. I mean, whatever you want.
No, a 2. I expect they're gonna give up the lead right now.
4.5.
Okay, so you both have more than a 50% chance they give up the lead. That they blow it.
Yep.
Which is about what they are for the
for
the year, right? It's about 50-50.
Yeah.
What was the stat that came out there? That's what it was.
They have more blown saves than like they have one more blown save than they do saves.
They had more blown saves than converted saves this season.
That's insanity. Now, I guess part of that is like I do wonder if this is like the highest number of wins for a team without a huge save number. Because a lot of their wins are big leads. You know, they've gotten a lot of blowout wins this year, which is good because it shows the offense has been great. Speaking of the offense, what's your confidence that the offense is just in a rut and that earlier this year they weren't over their heads completely?
7.8.
That it's just a rut?
Very, very particular.
No, I think your questions are confusing us with the way they're worded. I like the questions, but with the scale. 7.8 confidence that you were right. It's just a rut.
It's just a rut.
7.8 to 8. It's just a rut. I believe in the offense.
5. Like, because it's to me, it's right in the middle. They were playing over their heads and they are also in a rut. I think both things are true. They are not going to hit at the level they did for the first 2 months of the season, but they are not as bad as they are right now. It's somewhere in the middle, but probably trending more towards what we saw earlier in the season. They've been decimated by injuries. They haven't had their consistent lineup out there for more than, it feels like, 2 weeks at a time.
They haven't. No, it's been a while. It's been a while because you had Seager injured in the beginning, and then you had obviously Heim got hurt, and then Young.
And you?
I think it's I would say about a 5.5, 6. There's still an aspect of outside of Seager and Simeon. There's not a whole lot of history with the players that are, with these hitters. There's not a lot of history. So there is that element of, all right, I got to see that a little bit more than just a couple of months. So I don't know because Josh Young went from in the minors, basically at times, an inability to get extra base hits to rookie of the year.
Yeah, but I mean, he has been consistent. Like Tavares and Duran were the guys who really fell off in the last couple months. But I mean, Young's been pretty consistent throughout the whole thing. I mean, Wyatt Langford could be here next week, Chop. So
could be. You never know. It's rosters expand. What is your confidence that Nathan Eovaldi still has something left when he returns?
I'll let you handle this because you have predicted the pitcher's demise so far this year correctly.
So something left, meaning we're just confident that he can be good, not necessarily up to the level he was, right?
Well, I mean,
that he can be a real contributor towards winning ball games,
contributing top, not necessarily a number one starter,
6.
but 2 or 3 on a playoff rotation this year.
6.
6. Sean?
Why does his rehab start and throws keep getting pushed back? Why? I'll just copy Bobby because Bobby's been right, so I can be right too, and I'll say 6.
Been right a lot lately.
Yeah.
Not last segment. not the whole damn expressway.
I'll say a
That
4.
was a car wreck.
I'll say a 4. Man, there is something in this that makes me think that we will see him the same time we see Jake DeGrom. Like I am petrified. I don't believe a word this team says when it comes to injuries. Not a word.
You've been right. You were originally right on DeGrom, and then Bobby, but you both kind of called the injuries being reality.
Yeah, I struggle with it. I really do because I
They have no reason to believe. I mean, rarely teams do, but the Rangers this season, I don't trust the Cowboys either with the way that they've lied about things. And I don't trust the Rangers. And no offense, I support the job Chris Young has done, but I don't trust them.
So
what they say.
Seeing him when we see DeGrom, you're saying your concern is a Tommy John?
So it's some kind of injury that requires surgery. I mean, it may not be Tommy John.
I was just saying, because that would be his 3rd Tommy John.
Yeah. Well, and that's the problem for Eovaldi.
Yeah, he's already had 2.
And that's the problem. The second one doesn't necessarily work as well as the first. It's a lot harder to come back from. What's your confidence they will win the AL West? They're all tied up. Can it be higher than 30 than a 3.5? Because they're tied at 3 with 30 to go.
No, cannot be higher than that for me.
3.4.
Okay, look at that. So you're just slightly ahead.
Slightly ahead.
I like that one. Yeah, it's 3.5. 3.5 for me. How about this one though? Where's your confidence they will actually make the postseason? They are
because by the way, the freaking Astros are on fire. They're not only winning, I think they've won 8 of their last 10. But they've just bludgeoned
6 of 10.
6 of 10?
Yeah, Seattle's 8 of 10.
Seattle's 8 of 10.
Tampa's 8 of 10. Rangers have dropped 7 of 10.
But man, they just bludgeon the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And I know the Red Sox are what they are, but they just, in their last 4 games, they scored 9, 17, 13, and 6.
Kyle Tucker.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're
They're just beating people down. That 9 runs was against the Tigers.
All right, so what's your confidence that they will still make the postseason? They have a 3.5 game cushion on Toronto. Rangers, Astros, Seattle, both tied for the AL West lead and tied for the final wild card spot.
7.3. 7.4, 7.3.
8. Like, I think they still get it. Like, yeah, are they going to win the division? Don't know. But, I mean, I think they'll still get in the playoffs. It is interesting to see.
They still have 4 with Toronto.
The playoff odds from ESPN, which Texas had been top in the AL for weeks. They have the 6th best odds to make the playoffs in the entire American League.
And the worst in the West.
Among the 3 contenders.
Among the 3 contenders. So the Astros at 93%, Seattle at 84.5%, Rangers at 77%, Twins at 97%, Baltimore 99.9%, Rays at 99.5%, and Toronto at 38.4%. Those are the only. Wow. We're looking at 7 teams. Those 7 are the only ones in double figures in terms of percentages to make it. Nobody else got a chance. Red Sox at 7%. That's really it. Everybody else at like 1%.